Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nora Mohammed, and if you're watching this channel, you already know that. Today, I have somebody that I respect so much, somebody that is higher than me, and I'm so happy to do this interview. I've been wanting to do this, and finally, I have the opportunity to interview my boss. He's an HR guru, he's a trainer, he's a mentor, he's so many, so many things that I can't even put into words. So, welcome to my channel, Mr. Frederick. Okay, I'm going to have you back.
Thank you. It's nice being with you, Nora,
Thank you so
for
much.
today.
Thank
Yeah,
you. So, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great.
You are doing great. I'm
And
happy that we are twinning.
yeah. Oh wow.
Yes,
I see.
not planned.
I see. It's a Christmas season, so
Yes.
it makes a lot of sense, to be happy in a season like this.
Hmm.
And it's all about joy, giving, sharing, and all that.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
So today I have a few questions that I would like your insights on, and I didn't share these questions with him. So I usually do this because I want the answers to the questions to be as spontaneous as possible. So yeah, we're going to go into the questions strictly. Thank you so much for joining me. So the first question here is, how are you able to balance life and family and work? Because I've the few opportunities I've had with working close with you, I've seen how very close you are with your children. They call you every time and they're like, "Oh, daddy!" Like obviously you have a relationship with them. And I've also seen how dedicated you are to work. You handle a lot of things, and I don't know how you do it. How are you able to balance everything now? Have relationship with your children, you have family, your wife, and then still able to carry out work tasks.
Oh, thank you. It's always every working class person's dilemma.
Mm,
Call it a working class dad, a working class mom. The constraint of time has always been there before now, and it will continue to be there. So what helps is understanding the fact that yes, you are wearing several caps. For me, for instance, I'm wearing the cap of a CEO, wearing the cap of a father, wearing the cap of a husband, wearing the cap of also, a minister in church. So a whole lot,
a lot.
is out there. So what happens is that you look at your weekly schedule, right? So you may not actually have enough time for all these caps you are wearing per day, but in a week, in a space of 1 week, you should be able to create time for them. And so I look at different days in my week and then plan which one to give more time, and that helps a lot. In my home, we have what we call family time. So my children get to remind me, Dad, it's time for family, the family time out, right? So we normally schedule it that some times in the week, we get to bond together, go out. They like me taking them out for outing and all that. And
Mm,
then some of the weeks that we are not able to do that, I explain to them why, and then they look forward to the next, right? Then another thing is that when you are home, you try to be with them. Sometimes people carry work home, but these days, for several years now, I don't like carrying work home
mm,
because of them, right? So that when you are home, you are actually home. There's what
home.
we call living in the moment,
Mm,
so that when you are home, you are living in that moment
moment.
with them.
Mm,
And that makes the time you spend with them to have quality, not just quantity. So
quantity.
once the quality time is there, the quantity will not be a problem,
Mm,
especially when they understand that. Now, I want to share something that happened sometime last year. You know, I, my wife, her love language is time.
quality
Yes,
time.
quality time. And then, look at Lagos and all the busy schedule, even
Mm,
her too, she's very busy. So one day I was going for a meeting on the island, I think Lekki, so I thought about it. Okay, so how do I create a time for my wife? The week is almost ending. That was a weekend,
mhm,
and then we haven't had quality time
mm,
together. So I now told her, I said, can you join me to the meeting? So she obliged. And then as we're going, I whispered into her ears, I said, the reason why I wanted her to join me to this meeting is so that I can have
Quality
a
time
me time with her.
with her. Oh
Wow.
wow.
So when she heard that, her mood changed, she
Just
became,
happy.
her femininity came out, she
Mm,
became very romantic at that time. And,
mm,
so sometimes you just think outside the box, right? So that movement, commuting from mainland to the island, gave us good time to interact.
to
And
interact.
that helped to now bond us for that season.
So basically, you're doing something that she loves at the same time it's benefiting you too, while also getting what you needed to do done. Wow.
Yeah.
See how you beautiful way of managing time or time management. Okay, so the other question here is, what skills do you think are lacking in young people today? I mean, you are in a position where you employ people, you interact with people, you train young professionals, you interacted with them a lot. What do you think are the skills that young people need to embrace? What are the skills that are lacking in them that they need to, build on?
Okay, I had a conversation with a creative the other day, and I was telling him, I said, in this generation, the Gen Zs are very creative. They are digital natives. They have a lot of insight
Mm-hmm.
into how things work,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially in our time, But the area that they have challenge with is management. So I
Hmm.
was telling him, I said, you guys have the insight, the creativity, and all that, but you lack management. That is why I gave him some instance. I said, that's why you see a lot of companies, spring up with new ideas. All these tech companies will spring
Mm-hmm.
up, but before you know, the thing will die,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the creativity is there, but the management aspect is not
It's
there.
not.
I was not trying to tell him, I said, okay, so that I feel that what should happen is that there should always be a partnership between your generation and our generation. Our
Mm-hmm.
generation is very strong in management, right?
Mm-hmm.
We understand leadership, we understand management, right? So we understand administration. So if there's a partnership between our generation and their generation, we bring the strength of management into what they do. So I also told him, I said, what that means is that anyone who is Gen Z, for instance, who have come to master management, leadership, organization, right, will go further than the person that just creative, right, brings new ideas and all
Mm-hmm.
that, and doesn't know how to organize
Organize.
or manage their resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why they get a lot of funding, but at the end of the day, you are not seeing the result of that funding. They would rather spend that money on their lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't delay gratification. So one of the
Mm-hmm.
skills I feel they should learn is the skill of delayed gratification, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the younger generation will learn how to manage, how to lead, how to administer, it's going to be a great thing for them.
Oh, wow.
Right. There are other skills I feel they too should learn,
Mm.
like a sense of responsibility.
Mm.
Sense of responsibility. Responsibility for me is accepting to be the solution, right? It doesn't matter the sacrifice. And
Mm.
so this generation, they need to learn to accept responsibility. It will help, because you see them, a lot of them, they just feel, oh, it's my life, nobody should talk to me and all
Mm.
that. So they just live life the way it comes. So but responsibility means that there is a thought process to the way we live. So everything is intentional.
Mm.
Yes, so the younger generation need to be more intentional.
Wow. So what I learned from your answer right now is that they need to be more intentional. They need to cooperate with millennials or people ahead of them to bring their skills to life, because skills are not enough,
Yeah.
right? You need that managerial aspect of it to manage it. And I see your point. I see how important this is, because I see it recently. And young Gen Z just believe, oh, I have what it takes. So every other thing doesn't matter. They are hot headed, they are not calm, they're just, doing their thing the way they want to get it done and at the time they want to get it done. So they need to, come on board and, learn the managerial role. Thank you so much for that answer, Tar.
You're welcome.
So our next question here. You are a representation of success. You are a symbol of success. You are a symbol of inspiration. And honestly, I would like to get this insight from you. What would you say are the three things anyone needs for success?
Three things anyone would need
Yes.
for success. Wow. When the topic of success is a very popular one.
Mm,
In fact, when you Google success, on Google, you will see a lot, written. And I would say there is no one size fits all approach to success, as it were.
mm,
Success is always a combination of a lot of things, right?
yeah.
So, but if we are to say, okay, which are the most important in order, I would say that number one thing you need for success is a realization of who you are.
Hmm.
Purpose is very important. Understanding self, right?
Mm,
Understanding self. If you understand yourself, it means that you have gotten 50% to getting success,
wow.
right? Reason is because there's this analogy that we always hear, from motivational speakers and people. You know, they say that monkeys don't go to school to learn how to climb, right?
Mm,
Fishes don't go to school to learn how
how
to
to
swim,
swim.
right? It's only human beings that sometimes you begin to learn to do certain things
Mm,
because when that does not mean that learning is not good, but
mm,
when you discover that which you are wired to
to
do,
do.
now you are closer to success because you will do things with ease and still achieve your result, right?
Mm,
So when people are aligned with their gifting, with their talent, with the way God created them, it becomes easier to achieve success. So,
mm,
but when you are trying to do something that is not you, it
mm,
becomes more difficult for you to succeed.
mm,
And so that is why it's very important to understand self. That is very key.
mm,
Now, another thing that will help you to be successful is relationship. We call it networking, right?
mm.
Relationship. Nobody achieves vision alone, right? In fact, almost everything you need to do in life,
You
you
need
will
people,
require the support of people,
people.
the
Yeah.
assistance of people, the
Mm,
engagement of people, the collaboration with people, right?
mm,
And so you must understand that people equal success also, right?
mm.
So if you must succeed, you must understand how to manage people. And that's why the topic like emotional intelligence
Intelligent.
becomes very key for
Mm,
anyone that wants to succeed. Because in emotional intelligence, you are trying to unravel how to manage
manage.
yourself,
I know.
understand other people, and manage other people, right?
Mm,
So the third point I would say in order to achieve success would be something which I have earlier mentioned, management.
mm,
Management. There's what they call self leadership,
mm,
right? If you are not able to organize yourself, you may have very great giftings and all that, but if you're not able to manage yourself, lead yourself, you'll be seeing success, but you won't enter into it, right? People will meet you, prophesy. They will see a lot about you. They will talk about you so much. They say you carry so much. Now, those prophecies will not come to pass if you don't now harness yourself, right?
oh,
So that's self leadership where you're able to organize yourself around what you should be doing. When I
mm,
talk about organization, it is about being doing the right thing at the right
right
time,
time.
right? Leading yourself, understanding that there are priorities, things that should take your time at every point in time, and then getting those things done, execution, right? So I call it self leadership because you are the CEO of your life. And so, first off, you need to lead yourself. And then, if you learn how to organize and lead yourself, then success beckons to you.
Wow.
Mm.
So you have to find your purpose,
Yes,
find who you are.
yes,
Then you need people.
yes.
Then you have to learn how to manage
Manage
yourself.
yourself, yes.
Wow, such insight. I want to clap, but just two of us. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
So the next question here is, do you think we are the Gen Zs or the younger millennials, do you think we are the disadvantaged generation? I ask this question because, for the previous generation, they did have so much. They did have so much distractions, so much information, so much visibility to things and the world. The world is now close knit. You can see what someone is doing abroad or any country, and you want to replicate that. So much information, entertainment. Do you think we are at disadvantage at this time? Do you think we are the disadvantage generation, or you think we are the advantage generation? And your reasons for any answer you choose.
Wow. We must say that we can't be talking about a disadvantaged generation, right? Why? Because there's so much that technology has enabled. In as much as we know that there are the negative sides of technology, but the positive side trumps the negative, right? And because of that, we automatically say that this is an advantage generation, right? It's a good time to be alive and all that. There are certain things that is done with ease these days. Before the advent of the digital age, the internet, the social media, and the AIs, right? A lot of things are done with labor, right? A lot of labor. You need to put in a lot of
Physical
labor,
energy.
physical energy in order to get things done. But right now, things are done quicker and faster, and even the depth of information you have now, if you decide to research, is even also better, right? So it's an advantage generation. The only thing it goes back to what I mentioned earlier, self-management. We need more of self-management now than before. Why? Because of the things calling for our attention, right? Right now, people can follow you to your room, to your bedroom, right? Why? Because right there in your bedroom, you have access, people have access to you, through your social media channels and then through your phone. But before, sometimes people that didn't even have phone in their house in those days, once they leave office, you can't reach them till they come to work the following day. But right now, while the person is in his bedroom, even the toilet, you can still reach that person. So that's access to you can become a distraction, right? So that's why self leadership becomes more important now than even before, right? So, but it's an advantaged era for us, because of the advantages that technology has brought in. And so I would say this is an advantage generation, and the reason is because technology has enabled
A
so
lot.
many things.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm enjoying this conversation. I don't want it to end. So insightful. So the next question is, if you could have dinner with any historic figure, who would that be and why?
Would I say, is it living or dead? If anybody at all.
It has to be living.
Living. Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay,
It has
okay.
to be living.
It has to be living. If it's, but okay, before I mention the living, let me talk about the people that have passed.
Oh, okay.
If you were to be anybody at all, whether living or dead, I would have straight away Miles Monroe. Yes,
Oh,
Miles
yeah.
Monroe. He's my he's a carrier of the spirit that I love.
Oh, wow.
Everything about him is like destiny for me. The way he speaks, the insights he shares, the depth that he has. I love him so much. Then, but he's of blessed memory. Thank God. I know he's in heaven. Now, for if I'm going to have a dinner with someone alive, I would say I would want to have a wonderful session with someone like Bishop David Oyedepo.
Okay.
One on one with him would be amazing because growing up, I have listened to him. There have been so much I learned from that man. Beyond the church dimension to him, I'm very particular about his vision dimension, right? How he's able to achieve so much, within a record time, right? How he puts his mind to something and it
Get it
gets,
done.
gets done and all that. And then his leadership. Somebody said during his 70th birthday few months ago, he said, "You may not like Bishop, but you can't ignore him."
Yeah.
You see that? You may not like him, but you can't ignore him. Why? Because as you are complaining or even castigating him for so thing, more successes are coming. So you cannot but talk about the man, right? So he's somebody that must be studied. How he's able to lead, how he's able to drive goals to completion, execution, and all that. Lovely.
Mm.
So another person I would want to have a session with would be someone like Pastor Chris Oyakhilome.
Mm.
Why? Because he has he has he has really inspired so many people around the world. I've never seen any program or event all my life, that you can see a billion people connected, to such a program, except in Pastor Chris Global Prayer Event, right? When I saw that on my television during the COVID time when there was a
We're
global
limited,
prayer
yeah.
time, 1 billion plus people connected to listen to one man. So I would want to know how is he doing it. What is his, how is he getting such followership and such impact.
Mm.
So
Those are your
yes.
historic figures. I mean, the people that you mentioned are powerful people, and they've earned that right. In my
Mm,
own conclusion, they've earned that right.
mm.
When you said Bishop Oyedepo is 70, I'm shocked because I think he's wiser than 70. I was thinking he's above
Yeah.
that. He's someone that has blessed a lot of people. I mean,
Mm,
his words cannot, they cannot even, I mean, we're not praying for his passing anytime soon. Even when he leaves this world, when God calls him, his work will live on. His
that's true.
works, they are
That's
like,
true.
they're timeless.
That's true.
Thank you so much for the answer. Um, we at HRM office, I work for him at HRM office. And of course, there's no way I'm going to end this interview without asking questions, any question about HRM office. So I would like to ask her, what is that one thing you believe sets our company apart from others?
Yeah. HRM office is, as we say, we normally pride ourselves on automating HR
Yeah.
services. So we are a human resource consulting firm that is, into four key assignments. One is recruitment, two is training, and then three is workforce outsourcing, right?
Yes.
And then the fourth one, which is also one of the key areas we pay attention to, is our technology. We also have a human resource management system, or what people call HRIS, for the management of human resource operations digitally. So HRM office, we are very passionate about what we do. So I would say, answering your question, what sets us apart from other companies, in our space, would be our, passion. There's this undying passion to make a difference, right? To render HR services in a very unique way, not just the traditional way, but how to use technology to enable these things, right? And so that's why almost everything we do, we're thinking of how does technology come into this, right? We want things to be done in a modern way, and
Get
bring
content.
creativity to it, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we have products like Robust
HR.
HR, we have our competency assessment profiling system, we also have our behavioral assessment system. We have our personality assessment system, all automated. Getting people to do things, at the comfort of their own homes, offices, and
Offices,
all that. And then
wherever.
we're able to get that feedback at our own end, seamlessly, right? So it's interesting. So HRM office is bringing HR services in a unique way, using technology as an enabler, right? So that's what I would say is one of the unique things about us. Now, I mustn't end with that saying that another unique thing about HRM office is our team.
Mm.
We have very strong and competent team, right? We know that, yeah, where you have people, you may have little quarrels and issues here and there, but it almost looks like in HRM office, all of us understand ourselves so well,
We are a
right?
family.
Yes, we're a family. That sense of family is there. Understanding. The depth of understanding ourselves is very powerful, and I love it, right? So when you wake up in the morning, you feel like coming to work because of the people you're going to meet.
Mm.
When you want to go home, you feel like carrying everybody to your own house. That kind of fellowship, that kind of friendship, exists, and that has helped us to get things done in great ways, right? Because there's that unity, there's that purpose, there's that unity of mind, and we get things done better.
Thank you so much. I would want to go on, but of course, time is up. Thank you so much, sir, for this interview. I'm grateful for the opportunity to do this. I must say this, that I always tell him that he's the one boss that is very key. He's head on getting the job done. He's friendly. He sets boundaries. He doesn't just believe that you have to just respect him. He respects everybody regardless of your age. And there are so many qualities that I can't list here that you possess. And I'm grateful to have crossed paths with you and to work with you. And there's so much I need to learn, because it's on my neck to learn a lot of things. And hopefully, definitely, I'll try my best to come up and get to the height that you want me to be. Thank you so much for this interview. I hope maybe some other time I can interview you
No problem. We're always
again.
available. This is what we're here for.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for your
much
time
for
too.
watching. My name
Mm.
is Nara Mohammed, and
I'm Frederick Okago.
and this is Norris Word. Bye.